gentlemen, my name is Dan Toomey for 143 TV, and I am here at the Marshfield Magical Moon Farm. And right next to me is founder and very successful artist Donna Green. The Magical Moon Farm is used to raise benefits for children suffering from cancer, trying to raise the confidence of kids when they're dealing with such a difficult time in their lives. A very successful foundation that has benefited kids all across the South Shore. And on March 28th, you can assist by going to the Magical Moon's benefit event at the Ember Restaurant in Marshfield. For more information, you can visit www.magicalmoon.org. And throughout the segment, we are going to be taking a tour of the Magical Moon Farm. We're going to have an interview here or there, and just get Donna's opinion on what this foundation means to children with such conditions in the South Shore, and how the event can benefit so many kids that are in need of such help. So join us, and let's see how the day goes. Now, Donna, we've been visiting the Magical Moon Farm for quite a while now, and it looks to be a very spread out and very intricate building full of lots of activities that you can imagine a lot goes on. And just to give the audience a brief history, when did this program first start?
I started the 501c about 15 years ago, and it was all about children having a place to go that's safe and inspiring.
And being a very successful artist yourself, Ms. Green's works have been featured in both the White House and the popular children's book, The Velveteen Rabbit. How would you say being an artist sort of translates into a program such as this?
Well, when the children come here, they get to see that their lives are a big white canvas, and it's very easy to relate to an artist or a musician when you're going through trauma, because it gets you off the everyday stresses, and it puts you into a new environment that is more positive and fun. Yeah. So the Velveteen Rabbit actually lives here. So for the children that follow the story and love the book, this is where the real Velveteen Rabbit lives, and they can feed him, and we get into conversations about what they're going through as we're doing simple little things like feeding a rabbit.
And one of the more captivating aspects of your website, we were visiting at 143 TV. You're quoted in stating the purpose of the Magical Moon Foundation. You're quoted saying, "We are not about fighting cancer here. We are about going head on and seeing what strengths we can build from a place of hope." How does this phrase sort of manifest the overall purpose of the foundation, and describe what kids can get out of it?
Well, it's all about turning a challenge into an opportunity, and you don't have to have cancer to do that in your life. Everyone needs that lesson to learn. So when the children come here, they realize that even though they've been faced with something very difficult, and it isn't just cancer, it's other life-threatening conditions, when they've had something very difficult like cancer in their lives, we can balance that off with other things that are more fun, and gets them to, it empowers them, it makes them stronger, it makes them more resilient. We have food programs, we have a lot of things going on here that kind of distracts them in a really powerful way.
And one of the most touching aspects of the entire program is that each child goes through their own process of knighthood, and at the end of it, they are awarded their own real sword and given a special name. Would you mind elaborating upon what the whole process is like in gaining the knighthood?
Well, a child usually comes through another child, or maybe one of the nurses or doctors in the area, and they get to meet all the others. And very oftentimes, especially our children with brain tumors, they are in a network already in the hospitals. So when they come down here, they're with their friends, and their first visit is usually a little shaky because they don't know what to expect, and their heads are down. And I shake their hands and I say, "Wow, you're pretty cool. I hear your night material," and then their interest picks up, and I'll show them pictures of the other nights, and very oftentimes they'll know one of them from the hospital experience, and in that network. For instance, Lexi, Legend of Love, is one of our nights, and she got knighted about maybe a month or so after she first came here, and she had a problem with eating. She has a let me see if I can get this right, a grade 2 optic nerve astrocytoma glioma, which is another word for a slow-growing brain cancer. So one of her difficulties was food. So we decided that if she were to become a knight, she would become, she chose her name as Lexi Legend of Love, and would create a legacy for other children about how to go into your cancer in a positive way. So she chose a mission, which most of the children that are here for a while do, and that's to make the world a better place in honor of what they're going through. And Lexi's was to make a cookbook for other children with cancer. So after 3 years, with Mark Mincola, PhD, and Georgia Manzo Joachim, who was an author, a cookbook author, and a whole Moonspoon team of her fellow knights, she came out with a cookbook for kids living with cancer. And the Magical Moon produced it, and we have, to date, a year later, given out about 500 of them free to children. So the missions aren't little ones. They're not childlike play. They're important ones, and it made Lexi feel very strong and resilient. She's doing great. She's doing actually better than she has in a long time. So and she's helped a lot of children.
And to see accomplishments such as that, I mean, it's amazing that even the cookbook, which has been featured on Fox 25 News as well as Home Living Magazine, just an amazing feat for someone of that age, regardless of what else may be going on in their lives. One of your knights has also pursued a career in the medical field, I believe. And just what does it mean to know that you've helped start sort of that path in their lives?
I'm just the vehicle. You know, I'm just a vehicle. I don't see it as being anything special other than they bring so much to my life. It's a tough way to live, but it's beautiful, and I wouldn't live any other way. Having done this, it's very heartwarming, and it's a passionate way of living. You affect someone else's life and helping them get through a very difficult thing. That's powerful.
Well, it's beyond admirable, and additionally, a few years back, you received the Speak for Thyself award, and in your acceptance speech, you're quoted saying, "If there's anything that has brought me to helping children, is that they need to survive." And how important would you say supporting a victim of cancer, especially at such a young age, is with programs such as this? And what would you say your initial motivations were when starting this program?
Wow.
It's a loaded question.
You did your homework. They go from MRI to MRI, CAT scan to CAT scan. They are given 6 months waiting time. And why not use that time to do something that will help their health and help them survive? There's so many things that we're not doing just because our medical system is overtaxed, and the whole system is overtaxed. So there's so much that we can do with nutrition and mind, body, spirit stuff, and that's what we're all about here. I forgot most of the other question.
Well, that answer sufficed. And thank you very much for your questions. And I figured what better time to take a tour of the Magical Moon Farm itself. We're in such a beautiful area. It's a little cold outside, so we might be staying inside today, but there's lots to explore. And would you mind showing us a bit around? Well, thank you very much. Sure. So we are now entering the Fairy Nook. After you, please.
This is an area, you might notice that there's a Christmas tree behind you, and we're in March. Christmas is always here. Christmas, Easter, Halloween, any holiday that you could think of is usually someplace on the farm at any given time. And it keeps families from connecting a certain holiday with maybe bad news or a diagnosis or something. So it's just always something surprising here, and it's joy. The Fairy Nook that you see above you, the sign for the Fairy Nook, this is my daughter's area. She was actually the fairy in the Velveteen Rabbit. She posed for it, but now she's an artist herself, and very well known, onto her third book of illustrations. And the Fairy Nook was created for children when they come in and they're a little bit traumatized, and you want to create something fanciful. And so the fairies make magical Queasy Pops, which are little lollipops that we get from an oncologist in California. They donate them, and it's to settle their stomachs when they go through treatment. But we had to make a place for the fairies to live. So in here is, right in the middle of the house, is a fairy nook, and little fairy houses are going to be built inside of a cave of courage soon, and the kids will be able to go inside that cave and see where the fairies make the magical Queasy Pops. And the ingredients going into them are also ingredients that we bring into the children's lives when they come here. So that's the fairy nook.
Would you mind showing us around a little bit?
This is, of course, part of the fairy nook, but this is the dragon's den here, and that we're going to be painting a dragon. One of the children and I are going to be painting a big dragon coming in out of the
Right in here?
Yep, out of that nook. This is my daughter's work up here. She's advanced from being a fairy. Let's see, that's her up there too. And she's everywhere here. She's an amazing fantasy.
Quite an influence on the place.
Yeah. So this is going into, this is the rabbit reading room.
This is the home of the Velveteen Rabbit.
The home of the Velveteen Rabbit. This is the skin horse that I used as an illustration prop in the Velveteen Rabbit, and of course the Velveteen Rabbit himself. So the children will come in and we'll start talking about the next book, which is an adventure about all the knights and their missions. And it's 12 knights on a mission. So that, for all the people that have been asking me what my next book is, it's all about the children on a mission. And it's about rising above the cancer creatures. And the children come here and they walk around and they say, "This is real." And then they'll say, "No, this is real." So it's very cool. It's very cool. Beyond that door is a 3-room retreat for families to stay when they're coming here. It's not quite done. We have a lot of work to do. That'll also be a room for families who have lost children and they just need to get off the planet for a while. And it's a safe place to do that. So that was the artist closet over there. We have a lot of unusual things. We always have costume parties here. Kids are always dressing up.
It's a very welcoming room. You know, you feel it's very cozy in here. It's very comforting.
Thank you. The house was built in 1850, 1854, somewhere around.
Really?
Yeah, it was a sea captain's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it turned into another sea captain's house, and then Hood Milk had it for a while, and then it was Tory Little had it as an auction house, and there were 4 apartments here, and then I've been slowly making it into a place that will stay that way. I've just given it to the foundation, so it'll be here hopefully forever for families.
Well, you've done a fantastic job of renovating everything. I mean, if I'm sorry for the people at home, but you can't see all this artwork, but it is just fantastic, and you're breathtaking when you walk in here, and you can almost feel how many kids have been. You can feel how the influence that it can have on someone who's going through something so tough, and I think it's fantastic what you guys are doing here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And so now, which room are we about to head into?
Well, right now we're entering an area. This is usually a shrine that we have, and the children always will add something to the shrine for prayers. We have a prayer chain going constantly for the families, but we're having floors refinished, so right now our shrine is pretty empty. We're going into the kitchen area here. This whole area was made from recycled things. Really? We're all about recycle and reusing. Wow. So the floor is mill ends, hickory mill ends. The kitchen itself, all the walls and everything has been reused wood. I made the lights out of pipes from Lowe's, pieces, stone was just put in there for cabinet, for shelving. Everything needs to be open for the children because, one, we don't like to have anything in plastic. It's always got to be in glass if we can do that. We don't have any microwaves. Lexi's cookbook is always out. We're always we have special ingredients. Everything's cooked from scratch. They use coconut milk, coconut nectar for sweetener, rice flour. Many of them have celiacs from their treatments, so they're gluten intolerant or they're lactose intolerant. So we take all those things into consideration and just really teach them how to eat, so that they're getting the nutrition and the taste and the flavor and have the joy of it too. So nurturing the body as well as the spirit here. So this is this is for our upcoming event at Ember. This will be a moon that I just made that, and we're going to be sitting on that for photo opportunities.
Oh, really?
But this is what it's sitting in is a little nook where the children sit. We usually have a lot of big parties here. There might be 7,500 people here. And in fact, the chef, George Willett, just came here with owner Charlie Bonazzo's this Christmas and fed all the children here at a Christmas party. So everybody comes here. We set up the tables in long lengths, and yet we always have a group of children that kind of sit by themselves in this little nook because they feel safe and protected. So we've created a lot of little nooks around the place with big open rooms. So everything is in mind of the children. A lot of the children with brain tumors have trouble seeing bright lights, so we make sure all the lights are very soft in the house. So
it's great to know that the kids. It's good to know that actually healthy eating is promoted here, which you're not going to find that in any normal high school. But I think it's just fantastic that kids are getting as much out of this program as they possibly can. This kitchen is beautiful. I mean, and everything in here is recycled.
Well, as much as we can. We dug the sink up from the cellar. Some friends gave me the stove and an oven. Refrigerator is new. The children helped me build this. We dug in an old house stump over one of the stone walls and found a lot of pottery. So we made this backsplash behind the stove. It's all about using what you have at hand. And these children come to us with a lot of little pieces of things that, it's trauma. So we take that trauma and we build it into something else that is just a whole piece.
Well, the group effort here is amazing, and it all comes together beautifully. And thank you very much for showing us in the kitchen. It's a beautiful area. Really? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, would you mind elaborating upon this area just a little bit? It's one of the more unique areas of the entire building.
Well, we just put this in. This is a steampunk kind of decor. We use the pipes to put a place for the curtains and to feel a little bit like a boxcar in here and safe and comfortable. But we're just about to start building a steampunk tree castle behind the barn. We've got the plans. We're going to submit them to the town, and Steven Tyler and Chelsea Tyler and Taj Tyler are all going to be involved in helping us to make that happen. And it's one of the Knights, Gino Vitelli. It's his mission to build the tree castle, and we're going to find a way of getting wheelchairs up into our barn through the tree castle. So that's and everything will be styled in steampunk like this. So it'll be fun.
They don't stop here. It doesn't end. It's always expanding. Wow.
These doors I bought for $25. There's two of them, and they were from an auction maybe 2 years ago. So we needed a wall, so we went and found something that would work, and they just add charm.
This entire building has charm, but I mean, $25?
$25.
Wow.
Yeah. Reuse, renew. Just use what you have around you, and it's more magical.
It is.
This is another nook, and when I first came to this house, I spent the first 6 months here. I was working here, eating here, and sleeping here. The rest of the house was being torn apart. I was in a wheelchair at the time, And so it was a place of healing. And I find that the children that need to just have some time alone and space and feel safe, this is a great place to go. You'll see the guitar. It's, one of the kids might play some music here. One of them might read. One of them might write. During rainstorms, it's great because the rain is hitting the roof really hard, and it just feels cozy and warm. So this is just another little nook.
Nooks are everywhere in this building. I mean, if I'm everywhere. I mean, I would spend half of my days in there if I was here. And everything is very, very cozy and very welcoming. I mean, if just we saw the kitchen on the second floor. We've seen our second nook over there. A lot of opportunities for the kids really just to explore what they love and do not whatever they want, but just have as much fun as possible.
Right. Thank you. This was when I came here. This was a room that it was 5 little rooms, a flat roof, and I went up with 3 gables, a bunch of windows, and reconfigured it, brought all the beams from up north and made it a big wide open space. But again, in wide open spaces, you need little nooks here and there to feel safe. So, a big room might have a bed in the middle of it, and that's just what is happening right now. A month from now, it may not, but that's what's happening right now, and that's okay. This is a painting I'm doing of Steven Tyler. He may be at our event. We're not sure. He's going to try. But this is typical of something that just may be lying around. Claire over there will do her art, and there's piles of crafts and paintings everywhere, and that's cool. It's an artist's house. It's an artist's dwelling. So right in the middle of a room, you may have a bed, you may have a painting, you may have a pile of crafts, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's active meditation.
This house was built for creativity.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a good shot, actually.
A painting of Honu. Callie Hirschfield did it. She's Callie the Conqueror, and a little girl from Scituate who had leukemia. And I say had because she is in full survival mode right now, and this was in her first round of chemo. So that was something that she came here and did to help her keep her mind off things and put some balance in her life.
Would you say that art has been one of the best activities that a child can sort of release their stress through and sort of gain confidence within themselves?
Some children, some it's music, some it's writing, some it's building things, and some it's physical. So it all depends on the child. It's custom designed for the child. That is a picture of our Airstream. We're going to our event coming up. That's the poster I did for the event, the moon with the Airstream under it. So the Airstream is going to be done as a kitchen this summer in the middle of the Garden of Hope, and we're trying to raise $25,000 to make that happen, just to trick out this beautiful 30-foot Airstream that was donated to us. So that's our objective for this event.
And there you have it. You saw a tour of the Magical Moon Farm. We got to ask Ms. Donna Green a few questions about the fantastic charity. And once again, if you were looking to donate, you can go to www.magicalmoon.org. And we hope to see you at their benefit event on March 28th at the Ember Restaurant here in Marshfield. You can also make a donation on their website if you're not able to make the event. Donna, thank you so much for your time. It was really a fantastic experience.
Thank you, Dan, very much. You're the type of people that help us to keep going and get the word out there.
Well, once again, we thank the Magical Moon for their time. And for 143 TV, my name is Dan Toomey. Thank you very much.